Hello and welcome to another Adventures in Mastercam. We are going to cover work coordinate systems and a simple exercise to get used to jumping around in different planes by drawing a cube, a 6x6 cube, using different construction planes, creating 1-inch tall lettering on all 6 faces. This also gets you used to the Mastercam standard planes, and as well as being able to manipulate planes. And then at the very end, we'll engrave all the faces using the same construction planes, but using them as tool planes for a cutting tool. That's how your code. That's what your code actually looks at, is the tool plane. Construction planes are for drawing, and tool planes are for machining. The Mastercam has a few basic planes. I'm going to go over here to the plane manager. And you can see, well, this is already a work in progress. So let me just blow out of this. I'm going to hit new. Okay, and see all the planes reset. So Mastercam has standard basically these are all the standard planes that come with a new file. You know, your top plane. Here, let me go to an isometric view. You know, there's really nothing to look at except the work coordinate system, where if I hit F9, that toggles the plane indicator on and off. When it's gray like this is just the WCS, which is the work coordinate system. And we'll get a little bit into what the differences are. But suffice it to say, planes are all the same, except they have different names because they're used differently. But they're still planes, and they still kind of are handled the same way. It just, when you use them for what purposes are using them, then they're called something different. So here's the basic plane: top, front, and you see the little gnomon changes when I click on the plane. Right now this is my active WCS, the little check mark here. There's my front, there's my back, there's my bottom, there's my right, there's my left. You can really kind of tell, like from the Z, if I'm looking at it opposite of that arrow, that's where I'm looking at, that's what direction I'd be looking at, you know, downward, because you know, when you're machining, your typically Z is always up. So let me go back to isometric here, yeah, because we're still in top plane, even though I was showing you the gnomons for these other planes. Okay, so we have all our 6 planes, and you'll notice they are all centered on 0. Okay, so they do not shift or anything, they all share a master 0. Alright, so we're going to let's create our cube. So I'll go up to here to wireframe, create letters. Oop, not create letters. Sorry, scratch that. Create a rectangle. I'm going to snap on the origin here. I'm going to draw about a 6x6 box. So I don't have it exact there. I'm just going to type it in here in these fields, the length and the width, or the width and the height, however you want to call it. Say OK. So now I have a 6x6 rectangle in the top plane. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this easy, and I'm going to copy this rectangle down 6 inches, and we're going to have it automatically connect by using the join command or feature. So I'm going to window around these to select them. I'm going to go up there to transform, translate. I'm going to, instead of saying copy, I'm going to say join, and that will join the vertices together. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. I'll just do copy for now. And now you can either grab this little arrow here and do this, which is kind of a nice feature. I can just come key in -6 inches, and there you go. Now that's the copy. If I hit join, it joins the vertices for me. So that's the easy way to make a cube. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to right click to clear out the result of that command. So now we have our cube. So let's start with the lettering. We're going to work on the top plane. We've always been in the top plane. We haven't switched planes yet. So let's go back to wireframe. I'm only going to do the first 2, and then you are going to take over. So I'm not going to do the whole exercise, but I'm going to do a third of it. But once you get the gist of it, the other side should come easy. So let's create our letters in the top plane. We're already in the top plane, so we're going to go wireframe, create letters. I like to use this Mastercam box font. If that's not selected, it really doesn't matter, but you don't want something like Gothic or something that's really fancy. Just use the Mastercam box font. I'm going to change this to top. And you'll notice it kind of just snaps wherever. I'm going to click over here, kind of out of the way. I'm going to hit OK to accept that. And before I do anything, I'm going to change its color just so it kind of these are differentiated. So I'm just going to make him orange. Now, an easy way to get this guy in the center of this, I'm just going to go create a line like on a diagonal from there to there. All right, just a temporary construction line. So now I'm going to transform dynamic. I'm going to transform his center to the center of this, and you notice that when I grabbed this, it came up with a mean that's going to be probably split this way and this way. So if I grab the origin there we go, snap it right to that line's midpoint. So I'm going to delete the line, right click, clear that out, and there we go, we have our top plane, our top engraving. Okay, now the bottom, a little trickier. This was obviously our default plane. We're going to go down to the bottom plane. So I'm going to click on bottom. All right, I'm going to hit equal, but you notice that the 0 is up here. I don't want to draw my lettering, because if I draw now, it's going to be basically at the same level as this top plane. I want it down here. So I have to edit this plane. All right, so I can right click on bottom. First I'm going to duplicate it. All right, and I'm going to set that plane in my active plane. And now I'm going to right click and edit that plane, and I'm going to grab this vertical gnomon here, the Z leg, and drag it down and snap to the bottom of that cube. And double click to accept it. And now Z is pointing down. I mean, I could draw like this, but it's much easier if I look at it normally. So I'm going to right click and say isometric view. And now I am looking at it in the proper perspective. So let's create our little construction line first. So we'll create our line. Okay, and let's go back to letters. And let's change this to bottom. And let's just sort of snap up here. Okay, let's change the color. Grab them. Right click. Let's change them to, I don't know, let's go green, I guess. Okay, so now we need to translate them to the midpoint of this. So let's just grab them, window around them, transform dynamic, snap to the center of the origin of the lettering it gives us, and then snap, drag it over to the midpoint of the line. Double click, and let's delete the line. And that's it for the top and the bottom. So let's go back to the top. Just like to start from the top. And I'm going to do a quick engraving, and then you're going to do the rest. So let's go over to our toolpaths manager. Give us a machine. I'm going to grab a Haas mill. Whatever, I don't really care about the name right now. And let's go to our tool manager. Let's grab a 16th ball mill. Okay, I just happen to have it there because I had already picked, but if you didn't, you'd have to hit the filter and hit a ball mill. Okay, and hit OK. So I'm just going to do a simple contour, and I'm going to use the window because I really don't want to pick these line by line. I'm going to window around. It's asking me for an approximate start point. I'm going to click there. Okay. And we want our ball mill. We want no cutter comp at all, so we want this off. Lead and layout, we want that off because we're just going to cut the center of these lines. And for the depth, let's go -5 thousandths. That'll work. Typical engraving. I'm going to set my retract to something low, like 30 thousandths, and make it the same for the feed plane. And then you only use this at the beginning. This way it'll stay down. And there we go. There's my engraving for the top. Now the easy way to do the bottom, here I might just rename this top, just so I know that that's what this operation is. Quick and dirty way to do the bottom is to just grab top and right drag him, say copy. Alright, I'm going to slow click, I'm going to change this to bottom while I'm at it. And I'm just going to change the plane and rechange and then grab the geometry. So I just go in here under parameters and go to planes and click bottom. Actually, we need the new bottom we made, bottom dash 1. Okay, so don't grab the other bottom, it'll be wrong. Okay, if you want to give it something more descriptive, like new bottom or something like that. Now, I'm going to just sort of swing around here, and I'm going to window around those. So I'm going to go to the geometry. Now this is all the chains from the top. I'm going to right click in here, go rechain all. And I'm going to do the same window. Trying to get the other stuff. And do that. So that was the approximate start point. Hit OK. And regenerate it. And that's it for that. So let's just do a quick verify. Let's just go to top equal. Okay, we're already on top. And so, first we have to set our stock. Really easy. Stock setup, we will just do we're going to turn the display on so we can see it. I'm going to hit select corners. Boom, boom. Okay, there's our stock. So now we're set. So we go to verify. Oop, I didn't grab the other op. So let's bail out of that quick. So both ops are picked. If I can just click the group, it'll grab both of them. Verify. And there you go, top and bottom. Alright. So you are to continue on and do the other 4 planes. Same procedure. Just obviously different planes. That's it. Thank you very much.